Hey guys, welcome back to Metroid Other M.
Or as I call it, Metroid Other Mess.
Nice.
Hey, that's good.
That was better.
There we go.
Well,
8 out of 10.
actually, that kind of relates to something, because you know how you said in a previous episode that I seem to remember this quite well, even though I despise this game? Part of the reason, I think, is because these things again.
I just stood there for a second taking it in. I'm like,
back around the time this came out and after I finished it, I was just like, I hate this game so much, but I was just like, you know what? I could probably make a decent parody out of this. So I actually planned to make a Flash parody of this game called Metroid Other Mess, and I even had auditions for voice actors and crap, and I just never actually got around to it because life got in the way, and that was first year university. And I mean,
at this point, the rage has subsided, I'm sure.
No, but but I mean, I've always, after we did, ever since we've been doing this, I've been thinking you know what? Maybe I want to get back into that just because I hate this game so damn much.
That'd be fun.
So I was gonna mention Splatoon last episode, and what I was gonna say is I really want to play that. I really want to play that game, and the reason why I feel rushed to play it is that. The NX is going to be announced officially this year, which means it's probably going to come out maybe holiday season this year. And as that game is an online game, I feel like I kind of have a bit of a time limit on it. I've got to play it soon, or else I'll never have the full experience.
Maybe.
What is the NX anyway? I still don't really.
No one knows.
No one knows.
So there's still no information.
But those could mean a ton of different things. And
I'm actually kind of scared for it though.
I'm not. I'm pretty excited. What I want it to be is basically just the Wii U, but you can take the controller with you. That's what I want the NX to be.
Well, the thing is, I'm actually scared for the Wii, the NX, because I actually don't want the Wii U to die just yet. I actually despite what anyone says, I think the Wii U is an amazing console.
I'm agreed.
And it really kind of pisses me off that no one seems to realize that.
It didn't have a strong launch. It had a really, really weak launch. Even Reggie Fils-Aimé admitted that about a year later. He's like, we shouldn't have launched with the things that we did.
Well, to be honest, I'm not even going to blame their launch, their launch titles at this point. For me, the reason why they screwed up was they did not market it very well.
No, they did a terrible job with messaging and all that sort of stuff.
Not even just messaging, with just, letting people that know that it was even released. Because, I mean, one of the things that, whenever I get into this conversation about, why the Wii U failed, I always blame the marketing. Because, let's consider the Wii. It's a far less powerful machine. The only thing, its main gimmick was motion controls. And I mean, around the time the Wii, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but around the time the Wii first came out, everybody knew about it. You could not watch TV or go outside without seeing an advertisement or a commercial for the Wii.
We would like to play.
Exactly, and they were catchy, they were accessible, they were really, really well done and really widespread, and none of that was for the Wii U.
Well, that was for that's gone. I think ever since the GameCube era ended, Nintendo started to hold back a lot on marketing. I found just in general.
Actually, no.
The Wii was
the Wii. Yeah. I said
Wii was big.
My bad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they marketed the heck out of the Wii, right? And I was kind of around the time, I was excited for the Wii U when it came out, even though I didn't get one for another while. But I was just wait, where's the marketing? Why does nobody know that this exists?
For me,
it's just it felt they just dropped the ball completely. The job of marketing is to make people aware of it and think that they want or need it, and they just. I don't know what they did with their old marketing team. They must have fired them or something, because that was not there for the Wii U.
The Wii U for me had a very similar progression as the 3DS, where when the 3DS came out, I was really against it and was who cares about this thing? There's nothing good on it. Why would I ever buy this? And then now, love my 3DS. A couple years in, started to look at it and be oh, wait, there's actually a lot of good stuff on here.
Yeah.
Now, somehow they've sort of stealthily amassed a really nice library of games on here. And, the same thing happened with the Wii U, where the Wii U, when it came out, was why would I buy this? This seems stupid. Nintendo is doing a terrible job with this. This is a really bad thing. And then about a year or two in, it was like, oh, Mario 3D World is out. Oh, I really want to play Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, but still not selling.
Wonderful 101 looks really cool. And like still to this day, like I think out of all the, a lot of people don't really consider it like a next gen console or like a current gen console. It's sort of in its weird nebulous zone. But I think it's like, I think it's made the best case for itself out of all of those consoles. And I agree with your sentiment that like I kind of wish the Wii U got a little bit more time. For sure, but I am excited for the NX. Like I'm excited to see what it is, and I hope it is exactly what I want it to be. But we'll see. I mean, I'm also curious. Nintendo. I mean, you can always count on Nintendo to be kind of surprising and at least be experimenting and doing some interesting stuff. And I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, like. Sorry, you're saying.
That's it. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, like, I mean, like, yeah, they're definitely surprising. I mean, like, you know, Bayonetta and Cloud and Smash, you would think it. But
how come we didn't get Shantae? I'm not over that.
I have no real attachment to that character. But, yeah, it's like to what you were saying earlier about, like, you know, the Wii U making the best case about it, I actually agree with you because, like, a lot of the time when, you know, you see, like, you know, game people like us and, like, they start talking about, like, next gen or what is next gen, and everybody kept saying, oh, it looks like, you know, graphics and, like, cool things. I'm just like, no, we've gotten to the point where graphics don't actually kind of matter anymore because we can make anything happen.
I mean, I would...
but I'm sorry, you're saying?
No, go for it. Say what you're
but I think, like, you know, it's like, to me, at least, like, you know, personally, like, next gen means, like, you know, the actual experience of playing a game, and that's what the Wii and the Wii U's really advanced was, like, you know, they completely changed the way we experience games. That was what I consider next gen, and I mean, like, you know, it's also the reason why I don't really care much about the Xbox or the PS4 because they are basically the exact same thing with a better, you know, graphics card.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, is that, you know, I have a nice PC for that stuff, like, for those games. Because there were games I wanted to play, like, I really wanted to play Shadow of Mordor, and, like, I like to keep up with those games. So for me, the having a Wii U and then a PC has been, like, a really good investment for me.
Exactly. That's actually my exact same sentiment this entire console generation, because I'm just like, anything I want to play that's, like, you know, on other systems comes out on PC. If I get a Wii U, I love my Wii U, and also anything that comes out for it is exclusive to it because it has because it's Nintendo, because of how the gamepad works. So I'm just like, okay, so this is really the best configuration for this entire gen.
Yeah, and I've also felt like, talking about the idea of next gen being more than just graphics, you are right. I mean, I would say that, for example, like, I'm playing through some games right now on my PC. I just got my PC like early, near the tail end of last year. Like, I got it in like September or something. And you know, going back and playing a lot of these games that came out in 2014 or 2015, it's actually like, I'm really enjoying seeing those, like, super high fidelity graphics and, like, going in there and being like, holy crap, like, look at this vista, look at how well these are animating, look at how smoothly this game is running. Like, I don't want to discount that as a thing that is sort of important and can be really effective. But I agree with you that, like, what you want to see is more than that, and I think there are certain games that do that. Like, for example, Shadow of Mordor has this whole Nemesis system, where the previous generation versions of Shadow of Mordor don't have that system in them, like, which is, like, sort of what the game is about. And you can get versions of those games on PS3 or 360, and they just don't have that system in there. They're sort of just these, like, sort of bland open world games, because that's the sort of stuff you need that next gen computing power to sort of be able to do and be able to simulate. That's really cool stuff, and I'd want to see more stuff like that, where it's really using the power in a way beyond, hey, look at how nice this thing looks. But I also think, hey, look at how nice this thing looks is a totally valid reason for one of those things.
Yeah, but I also like Nintendo systems just because, like, you know, they have, like, these wacky interfaces now. I think one of the and it, like, it sometimes enhances the experience. One of my favorite games on my Wii is Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2, and I mean, it's a fighting game with Dragon Ball characters, right? But they completely enhance it, because if you want to use the moves, you have to, like, actually hold down two buttons and do the move. And I'm just like, wow, this actually completely changes like the way I perceive this entire game.
That's really silly, and I like it. But let me tell you about a game called Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Oh god,
that game rules. No, Xenoverse is really, really good.
Oh really? I heard.
Oh
yeah,
it's awesome. Bad. It's just like, you know, it's super fan servicey. If you like Dragon Ball Z,
fan fiction.
Yeah, if you like Dragon Ball Z, you kind of owe it to yourself to pick that game up because it's like it's what you would want. You know, I got to make a Namek with a mohawk or a Namekian with a mohawk, and you know, fight Cell, save the world. He wears sunglasses. It's pretty cool.
I still say that, you know, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, best Dragon Ball Z game ever.
Budokai 3 is really good.
I wish that game got a competitive following because it kind of deserves it.
Nah. As a fighting game, that game is like it's fine, but it's pretty shallow. It plays nicely, but I don't think it's really deserving of a scene. It actually gets really, really deep if you start playing with abilities because you can start like having the amount of energy it takes to like teleport, and suddenly you just have teleport battles, and it becomes but like that's the thing is a lot of fighting game communities don't like that stuff. I mean, it's really telling that in a game like Tekken versus Street Fighter, which had these gems, they played with the gems off. I'm actually really surprised that they allow people to use custom movesets in Smash Bros, for example, and that's actually an exciting thing for me. But a lot of the time, those things just like these sort of additional systems aren't really balanced to be competitive. Like even in something like Budokai 3, like having a Senzu Bean immediately breaks that game because everyone is going to choose to have a Senzu Bean. Or I guess they could ban Senzu Beans as a thing, but yeah. Senzu Beans will give you a full extra life bar when you die for people who have not played Budokai 3.
Yeah. But yeah.
Will, we've moved on from a fire zone to an ice zone.
Oh, I thought we moved on from Other M completely.
You've done that
too.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I didn't mind the tangent because, like, it was interesting. And the ice zone, there's no, like, ice physics that really get in your way, so it doesn't change up the gameplay at all. It's really just aesthetics.
Sam is not freezing to death. So
yeah, she wasn't freezing to death, but if she didn't have the Various suit, I feel like she might have.
Oh god, she probably would have. Which is kind of pisses me off. But
this guy seems cool. I saw you fight this guy before, and that seemed like a kind of cool.
These guys can give you a little grief, but only because they have like when they go all Super Saiyan and turn on their electricity mode, you can't really do much to them aside from hitting them with a missile. After that, that's basically it. But they move so quickly and they rush at you, so they're a pretty formidable opponent. And until you get the screw attack, they are pretty much invulnerable to a lot of your beam attacks.
You mean get authorized to use the screw attack?
No, that's one that Samus authorizes herself.
That's right.
She taps into her inner teen angst and decides to go against Adam's orders.
Well, wait, is that before or after? Spoiler alert: Adam is taken out of the picture.
That is before.
Oh, really?
Well, technically, he disappears for a little while, and Samus is like, "Oh, I'm gonna do my own thing before he gets back." Yeah, so cool, so badass.
You know, it really kind of pisses me off that, you know, that's the point when Samus starts to grow a brain, and then she just sort of loses it until like certain events happen.
I have a topic I want to bring up, but I'm worried it will, like, we're nearing the end of this episode, and
just bring it up.
We've got 3 minutes.
All right. Do you guys wish that Metroid games, especially like sort of newer ones, were a little bit more experimental with what power-ups you get? Like, I find that, you know, I kind of hate that in every Metroid game it's like, all right, you're going to get an ice beam, you're going to get a hook shot, or whatever it's called.
Grapple beam.
You know, you're going to be able to charge your thing, you're going to be able to get the morph ball, you're going to get a screw attack. And I kind of wish that, like, they took a little bit more license with how these items function and what they can actually do.
I don't know if that's going to change the game. I mean, like, it really comes down to game design, like how they implement if they do experiment with new power-ups, it'd be a matter of how they implement new power-ups. Because look at a franchise like, I know it's going to seem so left field, but Kirby. Like, they've added who knows how many power-ups now, but the game never actually changes. Sometimes there's no power-ups at all if they're not feeling it that year. But like, it basically it doesn't change the core gameplay. So I think new power-ups are totally cool, but they'd have to find a way to change the core gameplay effectively for it to work as well.
That's sort of the thing, is they have to design levels around that, right? Obviously. Like you have to know that going in. They can't just plug these things into it. This would be like a pretty big revamp, I guess, of how you move in these types of games and how you can explore the world and all of these sorts of things. But I kind of wish they took some chances there, and maybe that's just what other Metroidvanias are for.
Go on.
Maybe that's what Castlevania games are for. Maybe that's what a game like Axiom Verge, which I have not played yet but really want to.
I've heard really good things about that game. It's not one of those randomly generated level games, is it?
No. That's a straight up, that game is basically trying to be Metroid, but I've heard it sort of plays with that in some interesting ways.
Well, to what you're saying, Dan, I think that the closest we do get to that, and I think it does it in a pretty effective way, is in Metroid Prime 3, because some of your weapons actually completely change once you go into the new phase-on mode, right. And you get superpowers, but that sometimes changes completely how some of your moves work, how the power of your moves, and I think that is sort of what I guess you're getting at. It is sort of an experimental way of changing how these weapons work, and it also ties into the theme of the game, the power that you use and trying not to use too much of it, or else you get corrupted and die. So I think that actually sort of ties into what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's almost like the same problem that Zelda games have now, where it's sort of the same deal, where you know you're gonna get a hook shot, you're gonna get
look
what's happening.
Oh, this is.
Wait, this is what I think it is.
I was gonna say it, but I'm like, oh wait, Samson's gonna describe it for us anyway. It's what's behind door number 3? Oh, it's a zonk.
Oh, okay. It's not what I thought it was.
No, it's a Metroid.
My god.
At this point, though, Samus would be pretty pissed, because it's she's committed genocide on those things how many times over.
Is that what a fully grown Metroid looks like?
No.
Of this species of Metroids.
I thought Metroids were just always the big head suckery things.
No, they actually go through a very complex alien evolution, which is covered mostly in Metroid 2 and also slightly in this game.
All right.
Has someone made an evolutionary chart for Metroids? I would love that as a poster.
They actually have.
I'm sure they have.
They have Alpha Metroids, Beta Metroids, Omega Metroids, Queens, stuff like that.
Oh man, we need a biology course on this.